know.
I'd like to use your phone.
Oh, no. You live here, you use the payphone.
Well, where's that?
Down the end of the alley, at the other entrance.
Michael Shayne, please. Did he leave a phone number? No. No, I don't know where I'll be. Well, never mind. I'm seeing him tomorrow morning anyhow.
Anyone ever tell you you give lovely parties?
Oh, that's just like a man. Invite you out to dinner, and then you have to make it.
It's delicious. Remind me to ask you again sometime.
Thank you. Cognac in your coffee?
You don't think I don't appreciate the 12-hour day you put in?
Oh, it was worth it. Just imagine clean desk drawers, clean files. We are now eligible for the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval.
It's just the trouble. How am I ever going to find anything in all that neatness?
Well, don't brood. It'll never last.
Ah, this is what I call living. As the old saying goes, music hath charms to soothe the savage.
Oh, fine. Well, if that's the savage, I'll invite him in. Hi, Nat. Come on in.
Hi, Lizzie. Hi, Mike. Sorry to bother you, but...
What's the matter? No school tonight?
No, I had to work an extra shift.
Oh?
There's this corpus delicti. A man, about 45. Is gunned in an alley. No witnesses. Wallet's been taken, so there's no ID.
And Will Gentry needs Michael Shayne?
Well, he didn't exactly put it that way, Lucy. He said, pick up Mike Shayne. He's always crawling around where he shouldn't be. Wonder if he can crawl out of this guy's pocket.
Mr. Corpus Delictis.
Uh-huh. It seems that he had this matchbook.
Doesn't everybody?
Not with your name on it.
Uh-oh. That's all I need. A late date with Gentry.
Well, I'll keep the percolator burning in the window if you two want to come back.
Sorry, Angel. I'm afraid it'll be too late. I better drop you off.
Just think, that lovely pot going to waste.
I'll give you a rain check on it.
No thanks. Next time you can take me out.
3300 North Paducah.
No? Nope. Manager, come here, will you? This man register here?
That's right.
What name?
Smith. He give me a $10 bill.
Your room's worth that much?
No, the room's only worth $6. But for $4 extra, even you can call yourself Smith.
All right, that's all. Okay, boys. Mike. M. Shayne check, telephone number check, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Tuesday. Nobody ever sees me that early in the morning. You think Lucy could have forgotten it if he called your office? Not a chance. She'd never let a potential client off the hook. Well, thanks for nothing. So there you have it. So it won't be a total loss. I do know one thing. What? Who writes on matchbooks? Who? Somebody in a big hurry or else on the run. Too bad he couldn't have run a little faster. 32 slug caught up with him. Anything else? No, that's all for now. Stay in touch. Don't I always? For 9 o'clock in the morning.
I'm sorry, sir. Mr. Shayne never sees anyone before 10. Call later, won't you? Bye.
Lucy.
Michael?
Yes. You awake now? Look, like I said, was I supposed to see someone at 9 tomorrow morning?
You know I never make appointments for you at that hour. And besides, who is this early bird type?
Just think now. Was there a letter, a note, anything with an unfamiliar name on it?
Absolutely not. You know I never let a possible client get away.
Well, this one sure did. Okay, go back to sleep.
Barstow. The night man let me in.
How much did it cost you?
$10.
You get a bargain. He usually charges 20. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm sorry I had to come like this, but I wanted to see you before Mr. Carson did.
Carson?
You don't know him, but you will. You have an appointment with him tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Would you like a drink?
Well, maybe some wine. It might help me to unscramble my thoughts.
Maybe you can unscramble mine. Like, why did you have to see me tonight?
Mr. Shayne, my husband's name is Dave Barstow. I married him 6 years ago, and for me it was for keeps.
For him?
The same. At least I thought it was. Up to a year ago, until Bill Carson came into our lives.
She any relation to my 9 a.m. appointment?
William Carson is her husband. And Dave and I work for them.
Here in Miami?
On the outskirts, about 20 miles. Have you ever heard of the Palmetto Health Farm?
Yes, I have. You have to be wealthy to get healthy there.
I admit it helps.
What do you and your husband do there?
I'm Mr. Carson's secretary, and Dave takes care of the physical side, you know. Slim, trim the bodies.
And Mrs. Carson?
Mrs. Carson is a chameleon. She's the gracious hostess to all the paying guests, dominant wife, an abusive boss to all the help. That is, except my husband.
Let's go out and come in again. Why are you here?
I typed the letter Mr. Carson dictated, the one to you, setting up tomorrow's appointment.
I never got the letter, Mrs. Barstow.
You didn't? Well, I don't understand that.
Any idea what he wanted to see me about?
Yes. Only Mr. Carson wasn't aware that I knew. You see, he's going to hire you to get evidence on Dave and Belle so that he can divorce her. Don't listen to him, Mr. Shayne. Please, don't listen to him.
Mrs. Barstow, I don't get it. You want to protect the woman you say is running off with your husband?
Don't you see? If he divorces her, then she's going to be free. Free to really take Dave away from me. Well, if I can just keep this quiet, I think I can work it out myself. I'll pay you anything you want, Mr. Shayne, only just don't help William Carson.
Tell me something. Is Carson about 45, gray at the temples?
Why did you let me go on like this if you've already seen him?
Let's just say I might have seen him, but not to talk to. Now, you go on home and relax. I don't believe there's any way that I can be of help to Mr. Carson.
Thank you, Mr. Shayne. I'm very grateful. Now, whatever the charge is...
There won't be any. I'll write it off to my respect for the state of matrimony.
Oh, one thing. I'd rather no one knew I'd seen you. It's just that it's kind of embarrassing.
I understand.
So late.
Improving my mind. Mr. Carson's private stock?
As a matter of fact, yes. William has very good taste in scotch.
Too bad it doesn't include women.
All right, Elaine, let's review the bidding for the last time. You and I never had it so good.
Speak for yourself.
Sweetie, whether you know it or not, your jealousy is showing.
Well, I prefer to call it something else. Like pride.
Look, Elaine, you dreamed up this whole thing about Belle and me. She's an employer, nothing more.
And it's your job to drink with her and make love to her.
All right, that does it. Now, you've blown this whole thing out of proportion. Now, you're not going to blow up this gravy train, and I'm going to see to that.
Dave, wait. Please. I'm sorry. I'm just no good at competition. And Belle scares me. She's just so sure of herself.
You are scared, aren't you, sweetie?
Yes, I am. Well, I love you more than anything else in the world, Dave. And I just get sick of the thought of maybe losing you. That's why I wanted to have it out tonight.
But you got cold feet.
I always do.
Well, maybe you found a cure. Wearing your stockings to bed? All right, let's cut out the tears and explain.
Well, I didn't think you were having a business appointment tonight, so I followed you. That is, I started to follow you. I thought you were going to see Belle. And then I became ashamed of myself, and I just gave up. I just drove around. I parked. I looked at the ocean. I tried to figure out what happened to us and what I could do to make it the way it used to be. The time just slipped by. Look, I came in just 2 minutes before you did. Oh, Dave, I just didn't want you to know.
It's all right, baby. It's all right.
I know you have to cater to Belle, and I'll try to understand. Forgive me, David. Huh? Forgive me, please.
There now. You feel forgiven?
Wait till you see this, Dick. This office is positively the most horrible mess since the London Blitz.
So what's different?
12 hours, 12 long hours I've worked to bring order out of chaos.
Good morning, Angel. Dick, beautiful morning. Nice early start.
Are you responsible for this mess?
Well,
I thought so. For heaven's sake, Michael, why? Here's the morning mail.
I was looking for something.
Maybe you ought to take a vacation.
Maybe you ought to go to school.
Higher education doesn't start till 1 o'clock today.
Oh, here it is. This is what I was looking for last night.
Wow, $500.
Oh, no wonder it was a day late. Misdirected. They sent it to Miami Beach. Palmetto Health Farm. William C. Carson.
Who's William C. Carson?
Wrong tense. Who was William C. Carson?
Oh, Mr. Corpus Delicti.
The early bird I phoned you about.
Well, does Will Gentry know?
Yep, phoned him first thing this morning.
Where are you going?
To get healthy. I'm on a case for a dead man.
Last time I lost 5 pounds in 5 days.
Hi. Quite a place. Must cost those gals about $100 a pound, huh?
But they're kind of know who counts.
Shayne, why didn't you tell me last night that Mr. Carson was dead?
Oh, because I wasn't sure it was Carson. I wanted to check with the police first.
Oh, what are you doing here? I thought you were going to keep our visit confidential.
Oh, I will. I was just glad to see a familiar face. You know, it's pretty frightening out there.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude, Mr. Shayne. It's just that I'm upset because the police have been asking so many questions this morning. I'll call him in, and I'm going to trust you. Marie, would you ask Dave to come in here, please?
Thank you. I needed rescue.
Dear, I'd like you to meet Michael Shayne. This is my husband, Dave Barstow.
Mr. Barstow?
Shane? Well, I hope you're checking in. Women outnumber the men 4 to 1.
It's always the way, isn't it? I wonder if you'd mind answering a couple of questions.
Well, if it's about Mr. Carson, I've already told the police what I know, which is nothing.
Where were you last night? About 11.
I don't have to answer that question, Mr. Shayne.
I know why you lied to the police, Dave, but you can tell Mr. Shayne the truth.
I don't know what she's talking about.
He's trying to save me the humiliation. He spent most of the evening with Belle Carson.
That true, Mr. Barstow?
And you didn't have to say that, Elaine.
Oh, well, let's just say that Mrs. Carson is a very demanding boss in certain instances.
This demanding boss, where would I find her?
In room number 14.
Thanks. Hello, Belle. It's been a long time.
I told you on the phone not to come here.
But you knew that I would, didn't you? I thought that was why you left the back door open. How do I look?
When'd you grow the hair?
Certainly not while I was in prison. That's for sure. Poor Belle. But you make a very pretty widow, you know? I don't think you'll miss him, will you?
You'll get your money. And nobody will miss you.
Good old Belle. You always were the one to lead a man around by the nose. But not anymore. And not me. Now, I'll give you exactly 1 day to dig up that cash. Otherwise, you know what'll happen.
I told you I'd have it, and I will.
You told me that once before. And you didn't. Now, that's just to make sure that I get the money tomorrow.
Who is it?
Michael Shayne. I'd like to talk to you, Mrs. Carson.
Come in, Mr. Shayne.
Sorry to bother you at a time like this.
I've heard about you from my late husband. Won't you sit down?
Thank you. Did I interrupt anything?
No, I was just packing some of my husband's things. Memories are hard to live with. Can I get you a drink, Mr. Shayne?
Some black coffee would be fine.
All right, I've got some in the pot. I'll heat it up.
Hate to put you to any trouble.
No trouble at all. Won't be in a minute.
Get out the back way. Did your enemy get out?
No, he saw it.
Honey, it's Dave.
Oh, Dave.
What's the matter, baby? Who did it?
I don't know.
Well, someone was here. Who did it?
I was in the kitchen. I swear I don't know.
Get an ice pack. He's just out.
all right, Mr. Shayne.
You've got too many men in your life, Mrs. Carson. Who was the guy who slugged me?
Why don't you leave her alone?
Why don't you? Well, Mrs. Carson?
I don't know. I was in the kitchen.
You didn't see him.
Whoever he was, he must have come in the back way.
Well, he might be back.
What do you mean?
He forgot his hat.
I told you that was Williams.
Mrs. Carson, I saw your husband. A man doesn't wear $250 suits with a $4 hat.
So he wasn't stylish.
Did your husband go up to Miami often?
No?
Any idea what he'd be doing at a cheap motel?
No, I don't. Unless he didn't want anyone to know where he was. We always stayed at the Park Arms. The owner is a friend.
Was there another woman involved?
No. And I resent the insinuation. William and I were very happy.
I see. Where were you last night?
Right here. With Dave.
Nice and cozy. I'm sure that made your husband very happy. Unless you're both lying.
I think it's about time you got out of here.
All right. I'll respect your privacy. Oh, Mrs. Carson, just a thought for the day. Whoever was in that bedroom might have been after you. I'm in the book if you need me. Hi, kids.
Hi.
Any calls, Lucy?
Will Gentry. Wanted to know how you figured in this case.
Well, you should read the papers.
Incidentally, thanks for the tip. The Tribune beat the town on the Carson yard.
Yeah, how's Mrs. Carson taking it?
Straight, with water on the side. And the lady's not for mourning, at least not convincingly.
Another man?
Men, Tim, men.
So that's what took you so long, hmm?
No. I struck out, Angel.
You know, we can't get a picture of her. Nobody's been able to get in there with a photographer.
Well, she must be a real dog.
Not just the opposite.
No pictures, no interviews. The press is playing it by ear. Did I say something?
I don't know for sure. Why would a woman like that mix the Fourth Estate?
Bad press, maybe?
Or maybe she's got something to hide.
Like what?
Her face. There was a picture of her in her bedroom. She'd changed the color of her hair.
That's a woman's prerogative.
Hey, Mike, if you want the picture, why don't I do a little breaking and entering?
No, that's out.
And I can't get in.
They'd watch me like a hawk.
Oh, now, wait a minute, fellas.
Don't you think Lucy's getting a little lumpy and stuff?
I think she could use a little going over.
I resent this.
That's it. Uniform of the day, exercise suit and sweatshirt.
Thanks a lot.
Come on, I'll fill you in. Now, here's what you...
Well, the first 10 are always the hardest, Lucy.
Well, all I can say is wow.
That's what all the men are going to say after a week of this.
Well, I didn't think I was exactly that far gone when I came here.
Come on, let's try it again.
Oh.
Ready? 1. Good girl. Down. 2. Very good. Once more now.
No, that's...
Come on, Lucy. Once more. Whoop that away. Good girl. Good girl.
I think you've done about all you can from the camera. Don't
Yes.
you agree?
Go put somebody else on the rack. But come back, I'll miss you.
Don't get any ideas, Miss Hamilton.
Don't worry, I won't.
All right, everybody. Into the snack bar for some kelp loaf.
If you want him, you have to pay. And you have to pay plenty.
So that's the pitch. Bargain day for husbands.
There's only one thing standing in your way, Belle. And that's me.
that you might have had something to do with William's accident.
That was no accident, Belle. You know that.
I understand you were out last night. As far out as Miami?
That's right. I went out there to hire Shayne to protect your interests.
My interest?
Of course. You see, if Carson had hired him, he would have found out about you and Dave.
I see. And he could have divorced me without a penny. And I couldn't have paid you.
Exactly. So, by protecting your interests, I protect my own.
Suppose I don't appreciate your help. Suppose I tell you to pack up and get out of here.
David, go with me. I don't think you'd like that, so.
Lucy?
Hi.
You're not leaving us, are you?
Oh, yes, I'm afraid so, Mr. Barstow.
I told you to call me Dave, remember?
Oh, yes. Well, Dave.
Well, maybe I haven't been spending much time with you.
Oh, no, you've been wonderful. It's just that
Something's wrong.
Yes, I just called home and my father's very ill.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, maybe you'll be back with us someday.
Oh, yes, I certainly will. That's a promise. Bye.
Goodbye.
Well, listen, let me have that for the paper, will you? Sure, as soon as I'm through with it. Angel, my gratitude is boundless.
Boundless enough to get me something to eat, I hope. All I've had today is kelp loaf.
What's that?
Seaweed and sesame. It has all the elements that are vital for good, sturdy health. Oh, I'm sick as a dog.
Why not have the drugstore send up some sandwiches? Elaine portraits make lasting memories. 24-hour service. Good, then they'll be open. Dick, get on down there. Dig up everything you can. And then call me.
All right.
Okay, Angel. Now, tell me what happened.
Well, they taught me two things. Carry your own lunch and stay away from Dave.
Handy guy, huh?
Yeah, he's handy, all right. With everyone except his wife.
Hmm?
You interested?
Yeah, go on.
Dinner first, hmm?
Dinner first. I'll call.
Mike, steak.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Do you mind if I use your phone?
No, go right ahead.
Mike? Yeah, it's me. Yeah, that picture was made here, all right. But under the name of Belle Watson.
What's the address on Miss Watson?
No, not Miss Watson. Mrs. Ed Watson. Dated about 2 years ago. 170 Northeast 3rd Street.
170 Northeast 3rd Street. Okay, thanks, Dick. Good job. Come on, Tim. See you later, Lucy.
He's come down here from Atlanta. Ed Watson. He worked for the Barnett Lumber people up there.
Barnett Lumber.
You guys cops? Wouldn't surprise me none if this Watson were in trouble. He run out and left his wife high and dry. A good looker like that. Must have been out of his mind.
Did Watson wear a toupee?
What?
Hairpiece.
Oh, that's hard to tell. Seems like he had a pretty good head of hair to me.
Thanks.
Hey, what was that crack about a toupee?
No, the guy who slugged me was wearing one. The inside of his hat had spirit gum in it. That's that stuff they use to paste on hairpieces.
Oh. The Barnett Lumber family. There was a kidnapping 2 years back. Big story out of Atlanta.
How does that tie into this?
Well, the go-between was a man named Ed Watson. He worked for Barnett. He was supposed to deliver the ransom to the kidnapper.
Think you'd have anything on the case in the Tribune files?
Probably.
How about picking it up for me?
Okay, I'll get the stuff tomorrow.
Good. Look, I'm going to drop you off, and then I'm going to do a little checking on a marriage license.
You mean you and Lucy?
Oh, now, don't spread that around, Luella. You may get an exclusive.
They wouldn't want strangers poring over their marriage licenses, Mr. Shayne.
Well, how about you, Sam? You're not a stranger, are you? Think it'd be legal if you took a look?
Well, yeah, almost legal. One trouble, though.
Oh, what's that?
Well, I left home without my glasses. I can't read without my glasses.
Well, what do you know about that? No, I just happen to have 20 vision.
Well, you certainly have, Mr. Shayne. You certainly have.
And I also know what the score is. 2 husbands, Belle. Add them up.
What are you talking about?
That guy who slugged me. That was Watson, wasn't it? Your first husband. I looked up the marriage license. No divorces and no previous condition of widowhood.
That's crazy.
Oh, no, that's bigamy. And that's what Carson wanted to see me about. You and Watson were shaking him down.
No, you've got it all wrong.
For a health farm, this place isn't very healthy.
Your gun.
What were you doing with it?
Well, I heard a shot, so I grabbed it from your drawer and ran out. When I didn't see anything, I came back in and Shayne, he clobbered me.
Lucy told me you were here.
Bring the files on the Barnett kidnapping?
Yeah, all I could find on it. Oh, did Mike fit you in?
Yeah, sure. Everything except who killed William Carson.
Now, you know I'd tell you if I knew, Will.
Here's a picture of Curly Buford. He was the kidnapper in the case. They picked him up minus the ransom.
His face.
You ought to know it. His picture's hanging in every post office in town. He escaped from prison a couple of days ago.
Wait a minute. The guy who slugged me.
You mean he's here in town?
That's exactly what I mean.
Gentry.
Put out on all points on Curly Buford. There's a chance he might be in this area. Right. What's his connection in this case?
Tell you later.
Jim, have you got a picture of Ed Watson?
You mean Belle's first husband?
Yeah.
Ran in the Atlanta papers.
This is a picture of William Carson.
Well, the caption says he's Watson.
Then Belle didn't commit bigamy, don't you see?
No, I don't. Suppose you try enlightening me.
It looked like she was married to Watson and Carson at the same time, but she actually wasn't. They were both the same man.
And Buford killed him because he was double-crossed.
If he did, that might make her next on his list.
Michael Shayne's office.
Mr. Shayne, please.
I'm sorry he isn't in just now. May I have him call you?
Yes. I'm at the Park Arms. Tell him it's very urgent. Tell him Mrs. Carson said it's most urgent.
Very well.
Homicide, Gentry. Yeah, Lucy.
Yeah, Angel.
Mike, Belle just called. She's at the Park Arms. She made it sound important.
Thanks, Angel. Belle Carson is at the Park Arms.
Let's go.
Who is it? I've got the money, Curly. It's right here in my bag.
It'll still be there after you're dead, Belle.
Why take it out on me? It was Ed's idea.
You two must have had a big laugh. Poor, dumb Curly, cooped up there in the pen while you were living it up in Florida. You and Watson really double-crossed me, Belle.
Curly, you liked me once. We could go away together someplace. Europe, maybe, or someplace. Please, Curly.
I missed you this morning, Belle. It won't happen a second time.
Shayne!
I'll take that, Mrs. Carson.
He was going to kill you.
You didn't kill him to save me. You shot him to keep him from talking.
We know all about the kidnapping, Mrs. Carson.
And we know your husband was killed with a .32. Buford's gun is a .38.
But yours is a .32.
You heard Dave say I was with him the night my husband was killed. And that's not the only .32 in the world.
No, it isn't. I took this .32 from David Barstow. It's registered in his wife's name.
Well, we'll run him through ballistics. Pick up the Barstows.
Anyone want to change their statement before we get the ballistics report?
I didn't kill him, Mr. Shayne.
Why should I? I'll tell you why. Because with him out of the way, I'd be free to marry Dave. At your price. She's been playing the sweet little innocent, but I could tell you some things about her.
Shut up, Belle. You're only making it worse.
Well, it was cleaned after it was fired, all right. But it's the murder weapon. And it's yours, Mrs. Barstow.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Elaine couldn't kill anyone? Honey, I'll get you the best lawyer in town.
You're the one who needs the lawyer, Dave. When I got home last night, the gun was missing. And you had it.
Why, she doesn't know what she's talking about. I was with Belle that night. Wasn't I, Belle? Belle?
I'm tired of lying, Dave. He wasn't with me. I don't know where he was, but he wasn't with me.
Book him.
I was with you, Belle. That was her idea.
No, it wasn't, Dave. Belle wouldn't want an investigation. And that's exactly what her husband's murder would lead to.
But I did it for you. I did it for you. You gotta believe I did it for you.
He did it for your money.
Well, I guess you won't be needing me any longer.
Oh, yes, we will, Mrs. Carson. You're still wanted in Atlanta for your part in that kidnapping. And you've got some explaining to do about Buford's death. Hold her for questioning.
What about me?
You can go. But not until I say something. This whole thing started because of you. You withheld evidence about that gun. You put pressure on Belle and your husband. As a matter of fact, you did everything you could to complicate this case. I just want you to know I'm aware of it.
But you can't prove it, can you?
If I could, you wouldn't be walking out that door.
And goodbye, Mr. Gentry.
Well, one thing about this business. You meet such nice people.
Come on, I'll buy you both a cup of coffee.
Michael. Hey. You're not listening.
Yes, I am, Angel.
Why did Carson want to hire you in the first place?
Find Buford. And he figured he'd take it from there.
Unsavory bunch of characters, huh? Well, oh, my poor back. I have got muscles that I never even knew existed before.
He ought to work out more often.
Oh.
Here are some exciting moments from next week's Michael Shayne mystery.
And there they are, folks, our four beautiful finalists. Miss Mary Beth Wilder, Miss Sally Dean, Miss Ellen Cook, and Miss Gay Dennis.
If you weren't Gay's press agent... Who is she, Bertie?
It's Sally Dean.
Wait a minute.
Dennis? Oh, now, easy, miss.
I hope you got an angle, Shane. That $5,000's getting cold.
Snap to it, Michael.
You shut up.
Point that cigar the other way, lover. It might go off.
Is that why you borrowed $20 from me this morning? So you could go out and buy flowers for that,
Steady, Angel. Listen, Dick, when Gentry finds out you sent those posies, you're going to have some explaining to do.
Yeah, to him and to me.
Hello, Harriet.
This has been a 4-star production.